As we know, a lot of young people don't go to church, and it's definitely, we discussed this before, reasons why. But is one sister going to break down another aspect of this? Go ahead, check this out.
Y'all aren't in church, and that makes them nervous. Because, see, you're harder to watch if you're not in there. You're harder to track and control when you're not in there. They can't channel your energy if you're not in there. They want you in there. And now that you're not, they're wondering, what are you doing with all this time that you're not using to get reprogrammed? We're trying to teach you how to be peaceable and how to wait for your heaven and your paradise. So if y'all ain't here, where are y'all? And what are you thinking? Got them nervous.
Yes, it do make them nervous. And let me tell you why. Because in that church house, you can be indoctrinated every Sunday. We're not talking about indoctrinated into the fear of the Lord. We're not talking about being indoctrinated into following God's, laws, precepts, and commandments. We're not talking about that. We're talking about how they sit up here and want you just to be just docile and life will be better on the sweet by and by. Basically, just be a good slave in America, right? You'll be watered in heaven. And if you're not in that church house getting that false teaching, right? Not that it's not a false teaching to say you're going to be rewarded in heaven. I'm talking about that false teaching of just being docile. Oh, no. God didn't call us to be no docile people. You're not in there. The Democrats come to the church. You're not in there. So why should the Democrats come? They used to having a church packed of people they can speak to potential voters, right? The Democrat Party had a major advantage over that. They don't have advantage for these younger people. A lot of churches will have to close coming soon. Why? Nobody's attending.
He said that how the millennials and the Gen Zers are not really going to the church like most other generations. And he said you got to understand it's a whole new generation and it has to make sense for them.
We spent an enormous amount of money and surveyed all sorts of individuals, Generation Y and Generation Z. So anybody born after 1980, because we wanted to look at a phenomenon of the unaffiliated. And we're seeing that more and more young people in your generation are leaving the church. Now, they're not leaving the church because they disagree with the church. They're just leaving the church because they don't think it's really relevant. So the church, at least as an institution, is not as powerful as it was. But I also think at the same time, in light of all the things happening in our culture, those individuals that are actually committed.
You're like, yeah, if I want to watch church, I watch it online. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I guess you want to be a pastor these days, right? And you can be. Shoot, just do your online platform, podcast or something, and teach the word that way. A lot of overhead you save, and you can make revenue, online as well. But a lot of young people are not fooling with the church house. Once again, it's not because of God. It's not. It's because they have seen all the things that go on in the church house it just don't add up. And it don't line up. You understand? So, yeah, the folks know that we're not being indoctrinated by the preacher. And